Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Diamond, and we're back again with another video. If you're not a part of the Dime Babes, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Hashtag GTTV, get to the bag, you already know. Okay y'all, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Be sure to hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. Okay guys, so I know that there's so many videos on here that give you like little tips and tricks, or maybe like a little advice on how to, eliminate all those toxic negative people in your life. But it's really hard, especially if like your mother or your father or your sister or your dog, who knows. One thing that I can honestly tell you guys is that you're gonna go through trials and tribulations throughout your whole life. A lot of times God will send you certain people to show you who you really are. A lot of times, most times, our relationships are built off of trauma building. Trauma bonding, which means that y'all resonate with each other, and somehow, like, I know a lot of people who have lost a parent, they usually hang out with other people who also lost a parent as well, because they have something to grieve about and they have something in common, especially on a personal level. Because if you never lost a parent, you really don't know what it feels like. It depends. That just really depends on the situation. Overall, if you are a Christian, if you do go by the Bible, or if you are religious or spiritual, either or, they always say, turn the other cheek, or be kind to your neighbor, or, you know what I mean, like, or don't worry about it, God's going to get it, or karma, or the universe is going to get them. That is all true. That is all true. But I feel like once you put up your boundaries at the front door, like tell people literally check your energy at the front door, set those boundaries to those people that are very close in your life. Because I feel like if it's a stranger or somebody that you just met, it's a bit easier to cut those people off without them always popping back in your life. But if someone like your mother or your father or your sister or whatever, speaking from experience, I would definitely say, for one thing, pray about it, okay? Ask God to remove, or I would say ask God to remove those demons and entities that are taking over that body, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make it make sense without speaking from a very like bitter spot, because when you let me just use my life as an example. God want me to use this as an example, and I don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it because God want me to talk about it. So I've always had a very bumpy relationship with my mom. She was always present. And one thing that I will honestly say that, and yes, both of my parents are married. They've been married I'm 26, so they've been married for 26 years, but been together for 31 years. And they are still together. They're still husband, wife, and best friends. Okay, so saying that to say, my mom has always had mental illness, and growing up, I did not understand why my mom would do the things she would do. Being a young girl, I've always had to fight demons. Like, I've always had to fight demons. And, like, even going over this whole juvenile process, it's just like, what really happened to me? And that commander that I had to get the approval from, she was instantly like, it seemed like you had a lot of depression and anger. And as a young girl or young child, you can only get that from your environment. And being a young girl, you got to think about it. I feel like the world is so hard, especially when you go to public school, because a lot goes on. There's a lot of bullies. There's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of bullies that are teachers that are very narcissistic. And that's what I went through. So it was like, I would always go to school. I would always get bullied. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter what I said. And I come home and have to go through the same thing. So as a young girl, I was angry and I was depressed. And the only way that I can express it was being physical. But that was, like, what is the stem of this issue? Like, where is the root? And the root was my mother. Like, if my young daughter were to go to school acting out, they're gonna look at the mother, because the parents are the reflection of the children, especially if you are the mother. So that being said, me and my mom had always had a rocky relationship, but it's like a sister relationship. And I feel like I've even lost friends because they would say that me and my mom relationship was pretty much toxic, but then again, they would be very jealous because me and my mom had a very tight bond. And that kind of is the same thing, which is why I'm always so eager and excited to move around. I feel like you cannot heal in the same place that you was hurt, but God definitely has a way to humble you and to let you know that He is God. And when He say be still and do what you need to do, He has a way to make you do just that. Saying all of that to say that, speaking from experience, the way I deal with my mom, I set boundaries. I say no. I don't allow her to push me around. I don't allow her to use me. I don't allow her to use me for my children or anything like that. Anything that I allow is because I allowed it. It is only because I've always been so hard-headed and strong-minded for myself. And now looking at it, a lot of my siblings, or even my dad, blames my mom for holding some of them back because of her own trauma that we had to deal with growing up. So now we're in this spot where it's just kind of like, well, I told you so type of energy. But at the end of the day, going back to how to distance yourself from toxic people, friends, mostly, okay? So, speak from experience, and I'm going to go ahead and let it be known. I've always had a best friend. I've always been the leader, the ace of a group. I've always been very social. I've always been socially awkward. I think that's the word. I've always been awkward, shy, simply because of my insecurities. It's just growing up, being around my cousins, it's just always not being enough, or always just not it. Even now, I just feel like by me being who I am, I'm called being weird. That being said, a lot of times people would come to me because of my family dynamics. Mind you, I'm like one of the few black girls in my community that even have a father around, let alone two parents that's making things work together. A lot of people will come over simply because they like my mama, or they like how my mom allowed us to kind of have our way. You know what I mean? A lot of broken people will come to me even now. And one thing that I learned is that when a person is overly obsessing over you to the point where they're like, oh, I'm going to go to your house, that's a red flag. Stay away from those people. Let me slow it down. When a person is acting all fangirl, fanboy, back up, because that's the number one flag. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. And I don't really care who see this. A lot of people come in your life and they act like they support you. They act like they the whole time they are really jealous of you. They wish they had your body. They wish they had your skin color. They wish they had your family. They wish they had your car or whatever it is. And it be people that have more than you or have more access to things than you. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I could definitely say. Look out for those people. And if you are already in a toxic situation like that, the way I am, usually I give them grace, but now I'm just to the point where, like, check your energy at the door. If your energy not right, then this is going to be short and cute and casual. Most likely, you're not going to get a text back, okay? Most likely, I'm just going to ignore you. Simply because I just don't have the energy to keep giving out to people who don't want to take notes and actually do the work for themselves. A lot of people want to be around good people like me and you because we are closer to God than they are. A lot of people don't want to go do their shadow work with God and with the universe simply because they not built like that. A lot of people, they're not strong. They're not physically, mentally, spiritually strong. A lot of people are low ranking in the spiritual world. And so if you're very high ranking like myself, because I've done the work so I can speak for myself. If you're very high ranking in the spiritual world, then you gotta understand a lot of broken people are gonna try to come to you because they feel like you are the source, but really Jesus is the source, and they actually need to go surrender. So don't be out here doing nobody's shadow work. Like literally, I had an experience where I had a friend who would come around, would support me, but I kind of seen that she was like that with everybody, and I kind of didn't like that because it was kind of like every time she came to me, she would come to me with drama that was so low vibrational, and for her to be so high ranking in the spiritual realm like she thinks she is, it was very disheartening to be around her and to know that she was just a fraud, she was fake, she was phony, and like she would judge me based off me, the way I would comb my daughter's hair, the way I would dress my daughters, or the way I would do certain things. But in reality, she's way worse than I am when it comes to actually being a virtuous woman. Like, a lot of people are very materialistic. That's another thing. You gotta understand that a lot of people is not gonna be built like you. A lot of people are toxic because of their grandparents or their siblings or their aunts and uncles or the people around them. A lot of people kind of don't have a lot of trauma and a lot of ego and a lot of fake personalities and just a cover up, and they don't even know it, like, because that's all they know. So a lot of people don't want to go do their inner shadow work or their light work. So for me personally, learning from experience, check your energy at the door. And also, if I don't want to be like you, then I don't want to hang around you. Like, if you don't have anything that I aspire to have, then I kind of like, at this point, it's like, what use are you in my life? Like, what good are you in my life? You know what I mean? So that being said, and like y'all want to have people that want to pray with you and pray for you. A lot of people want the best for you, but they don't want you to do better than them, and that's just what it is. And one thing I can honestly say is that I'm so grateful for my daughters, because those mine. I pray for those, and those are mine. You see them, you see me. You see me, you see them. That's my seed. Okay, period. And so for me personally, I'm just so grateful because God knew that I was gonna have a lonely road to the top. Like, a lot of people were gonna come my way, but it wasn't gonna be genuine. A lot of friends and families were gonna flip on you simply because they can't control you. Okay, and so God knew that I was gonna get to the top quicker than a lot of people and quicker than what people expected me to. And He knew that the top was going to be lonely. That's another thing. The top is going to be lonely, okay? So for me and for all my single mamas, y'all know exactly where I'm coming from. Those days where your mama turned against you, your daddy, your sister, your brother, everybody don't turn against you. But guess what? Not only is God is right there, not only is Jesus showing you that look how they crucified me, look what they done to me. Everything that they trying to do to you, it ain't gonna work because it's already been done to me. You are protected in the blood of Jesus. Oh, don't get me on her preaching. That being said, God already knew. So that's why I'm so grateful that God has blessed me with my 2 angels. Okay? Because He already knew what the enemy was going to try to come for. He already knew that the devil was going to use my mama and my daddy and my sister and everyone that was close to me against me right at my time of elevation. Right when they thought that I was down, but really I wasn't down. God just hid me in plain sight because He did not want me to bruise myself. God did not want me to scrape myself up. God did not want nobody to see what it is that He has for me. Only the people that want to see are the people that's here right now listening to this video right here. The only people that God wanted to see this elevation and this blow up in my life are the people that are subscribed to this channel right here. I know a lot of family members who were saying in my family, they're not going to subscribe. They're not going to like or comment. They don't have the time for that. But guess what? They're going to be trying to be there whenever I do get there 100K, 200K, 300K, 500K. Because if God can do it for many people, but for me, why would He not do it for me? That would be crazy. You know what I mean? It might take me a little bit longer. It might come when I least expect it, but I know that it's there for God's will. God's promise will always stand. Okay? That being said, y'all, cut off those toxic people. Sometimes you just gotta be a little brutally honest. If you're like me, then I kind of like after. Don't be like me though. But the new me, the me that I'm working on, is being sufficient within my own company. Like, I have my daughters. And y'all know what else? I'm gonna get a dog, and I'm gonna get me another cat. That's where I'm at in my life. Because I feel like animals are way more loyal to you than your own sibling, your own blood. But okay, y'all. That's the end of this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell so y'all can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you're not a part of the Dive, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? And guys, also be on the lookout for some new merchandise that I am about to, you know, cook up in the kitchen, honey. I got a lot of things that I'm working on, and that I want my YouTube family to really be a part, because I know y'all are loyal. Y'all are way more supportive, and it's just way more versatile and diverse over here. So yeah, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Adios.